We rely on invisible systems every single day. You walk into fire-protected skyscrapers, drive cars with automatic gear shifts, you grab household staples off the local grocery store shelves, and flip through channels filled with diverse television programming. We easily remember the massive corporate brands that sell us these conveniences. We memorize the logos and the industries, but the history books often overlook the individuals who engineered the foundations of these systems before the spotlight ever arrived. For decades, the standard narrative of Black life in the 19th and 20th centuries has focused on the struggle for survival under segregation. That struggle was a reality, but it masks a hidden history of profound technological and cultural contribution. These pioneers drafted the structural, cultural, and technological blueprint of the modern nation while simultaneously fighting exclusion from the very systems they were building. In the 1800s, living in an American city meant living with the constant threat of total destruction. A single unchecked industrial fire could erase entire city blocks in hours, trapping workers and collapsing neighborhoods. Thomas J. Martin, a Black inventor born in 1842, imagined a proactive, building-wide defense mechanism to solve this. He proposed moving away from reactive firefighting, designing a complex network of pipes and valves built directly into a building structure. This concept of automated fire suppression transformed architecture. Martin's vision of using internal systems to stop a catastrophe before it spreads established the groundwork for the modern sprinkler systems that now protect every skyscraper and school in the world. As the 20th century transitioned to the automotive era, Richard Spikes became obsessed with eliminating mechanical inefficiency. Among his dozens of contributions was the automatic gear shift device in 1932, a development that drastically improved driving safety during a period of rapid evolution. Spikes continued to engineer complex safety systems across multiple industries, even as he faced a brutal personal challenge. He was slowly losing his sight. Even while nearly blind, Spikes successfully patented fail-safe braking innovations. His final engineering breakthroughs eventually became standard protection for the most vulnerable citizens, schoolchildren riding buses across America. Martin and Spikes engineered the physical safety mechanisms for a country that, structurally and legally, failed to guarantee their own safety. Beyond the physical landscape, pioneers were redefining the American lifestyle. Sometimes that work began in the most unforgiving environments, like the freezing, isolated labor camps of the Alaskan wilderness. A Black cowboy and plumber named Steve Henson recognized that exhausted workers required psychological comfort to survive those conditions. He mixed buttermilk, herbs, and seasonings to provide that warmth, unknowingly creating Hidden Valley Ranch, a flavor that would eventually transform American food culture. While Henson addressed comfort, others tackled the absence of dignity. In the mid-20th century, mainstream media relied on caricatures that normalized disrespect and denied Black humanity. Jackie Ormes weaponized the comic strip to fight back. She introduced readers to Torchy Brown, a sophisticated, intelligent, and fashionable Black woman with independence and wit. Her artwork presented a revolutionary image of Black freedom at a time when that image was considered political warfare. This influence made her a target. During the McCarthy era, the FBI opened a 287-page file on Ormes, labeling her subversive, simply for her advocacy of civil rights and her ability to reach millions through storytelling. At the same time, Joyce Bryant emerged as a pioneer of the avant-garde. With her silver hair and mermaid gowns, she invented a completely new archetype of futuristic, unapologetic Black female superstardom decades ahead of its time. Bryant walked directly into elite, segregated nightclubs that profited from Black talent while denying them basic rights. By refusing to shrink herself in those spaces, she redefined the standards of elegance and stage presence for every performer who followed. Henson, Ormes, and Bryant established new standards for American life, proving that the way a nation eats, sees itself, and performs is a deliberate creation by those bold enough to set the original mark. In the 1970s, America had Black entertainers and athletes, but ownership remained rare. Without ownership, representation was subject to the filters and stereotypes of white corporate networks. In 1975 Detroit, William V. Banks and the Freemasons built WGPR-TV. the first fully Black-owned and operated television station in American history. This was an institutional milestone that placed the power of perception directly into Black hands. For the first time on broadcast television, a community saw itself fully reflected through its own unedited lens. WGPR-TV gave Black journalists and creatives the opportunities the mainstream industry denied them, celebrating culture without compromise. The station proved that Black media did not require white corporate validation to succeed. That milestone permanently expanded the boundaries of what was institutionally possible in American broadcasting. These stories reveal a consistent logic. None of these innovators waited for social permission or perfect conditions to build. They carried the burden of being the first. The person who breaks through the wall rarely receives the same comfort as those who walk through the door later. Black history forms the bedrock of the American experience. Every time you interact with modern architecture, media, or culture, you are standing on the work of an invisible architect.